Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I want to share a pretty simple but very nice knife. I've had this one for probably, I don't know, 5-6 months, something like that. This is from a Australian maker, and I want to say it's Grambeau. I hope I'm not mispronouncing that, but you guys know me, I mispronounce everything, so it's possible. So it's right on top there, Grambeau. So I'm going to say Grambeau Knives. This is the Assetto, all right, again, out of Australia. Pretty cool card here, I like that. This one is actually his original design. It just happens to be manufactured by Bestech, all right? So this one is, the best way I could describe this is boring excellence. And I'll probably put that in the title because that's what this is. It looks boring, but it is so well made. It's really simple. This knife, I mean, if I hand it to someone, you didn't, notice the markings. He happens to have the name up top here. Very Chris Reeve, esque to me. But I like it. It's simple. It's clean. The blade steel, and these happen to be numbered, is on the back here. All right, on the spacer. But yeah, I mean, this knife, if I hand it to someone who has, some information about knives, maybe a medium-sized collection, whatever, I can tell them that this is an Amazon Chinese knife that I got for 50 bucks, and they believe me. I can also probably tell them that this is a handmade custom knife that was $790. They probably believe me as well. It's very simple. It's a titanium frame lock. How many titanium frame locks are in the market? Millions? I don't know. There's got to be, I mean, if you've been into knives for a while, you might be able to name dozens and dozens of them. But I really like this knife. Anyway, on to the knife itself. I'm just blabbing on here. You can see it is a front flipper, no studs, no holes, anything like that. You can open this slowly if you want. Like any front flipper, you just push that a little bit just to start the blade, and then move your thumb over to the blade itself and manipulate the side of it to open and close it. But of course, we all want to open it fast. That's why we like our little flippers, right? Whether it's on the front or the back. So I love the design overall. I love the blade profile like a lot. Quick specs on this guy. The blade is 3.24 inches. It is a Bowler M390. It is hollow grounds, all right? It is 3.7 millimeters thick. Very well done. Kind of a real light stonewash finish on that. That hollow grind really, I mean, you can see the light, how that reflects off of it. This thing slices amazing. I'm a huge fan of M390. There's other steels, of course, that, I like a little bit more, like 20CV happens to be just a touch, more preferable by myself. Things like Magna Cut, I mean, like ridiculous high-end stuff, but M390 really is an amazing performing steel. I would never, poo-poo any knife that would have M390, but I like the design. I mean, it locks up perfect. This does have cage ceramic bearings in it, so it is nice and smooth. Closed here, 4.3 inches, and overall is 7.59 inches, and it weighs 3.5 ounces. So this hits the sweet spot of everything in the middle. It's not really big, it's not really small. It's not really heavy, it's not really light. It's just like your average, titanium frame lock. But, when it comes to stuff like this, the design has to appeal to you. I think this is a very slick, kind of sexy design. It's super clean, very vanilla, very plain. There's no color going on here. There's no, big logos or anything. It's super subtle, all right? But I think it's very well done, all right? I've always been a fan of Bestech, even though this is a Grambeau design. They did this very well. Here's a little close-up of that blade. I like this wedge design. I do like that it tapers quite a bit, so you do have a very pointy point. All right, so if you need some fine cutting in there, you can certainly do so, or if you need the extra, simplicity of penetrating easier with a more acute point, you certainly get that with this knife. Just really, like I said, clean and simple. Plain titanium. Plain titanium spacer. It's a partially open back there to let some, dust and dirt and stuff go through. All right, simple knife. Locks up perfect. See the lock bar stabilizer in there, so you can't overextend that lock. It stops right there. Just smooth, opens nice, super sharp, super pointy. The jimping is on the base here. It does absolutely nothing. There's no jimping on the top. So if you do like an extra grippy, jimped, knife spine, you're not going to find that here. I don't really care. I don't, when there's jimping that works, I like it, but it's not something I miss. It's not a critique to me. Naturally holding this knife with my, XL glove sized hands, my thumb does ride perfectly on that ramp, and there's no jimping there at all. But even if you were to hold the knife back here a little bit, this is not facilitating a lot of grip. It's kind of barely tickling your thumb because all the thumb pressure is basically on the frame there. It is pretty even. If anything, it's just below. So if the blade, the spine here was protruding a little bit, you definitely feel that jimping a little more, but you don't. Your thumb is equally pressing those handle scales as much as it is the blade. But I have no complaints, basically. I'm just saying it for anyone out there who might really want like a jimped knife. This one would not be for you. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's super simple and plain. You do have a skeletonized handle. If we get the light right in there, maybe you can see that. All right, this whole top scale is skeletonized. It's just really nice. The pocket clip works very well. There's no hot spots at all. All right. Again, there's so many knives today, doesn't matter if they're Framelocks or not, that have the deep concealed clip, and you end up getting that big, kind of like lump or bump at the end there, and that's usually what creates some hot spots for me. It's almost always a pocket clip that's creating an uncomfortable situation compared to maybe like a handle shape or design. But in this case, clip works perfectly. It's riding on smooth titanium, very easy to get in and out of the pocket. Simple design. I mean, it's just so plain that it works really, really well. All right, so you get the little certificate of authenticity, you get your little, generic kind of pouch to hold it. It's really cool. These are currently selling for $272. That is in Australian dollars, AUD. That works out very closely to US. I think it's like $280, maybe it's a little over $280. All right, but that's the price range here for, for lack of a better word, a really plain, boring knife that's going to perform excellent. This is one of those things where this, might not excite certain people. Depends on what kind of knife collector or user you are. But things like this, I really appreciate. I appreciate the simplicity of this. This really is kind of the, I don't know, I almost want to say the, Camry of the knife world, but it's not really true because it's better. Maybe this is the Lexus of the knife world, where you get a little bit of that glitz and glamour, you get that high-end feel with a little bit of that look, but it's definitely not drawing attention. You have a ton of performance and usability in something like this, but you're not going to surprise your friends. You're not going to show this off on some kind of, Facebook group page. No one's going to care. You know what I mean? Except for the handful of people out there that may have one and appreciate that it just works well. It really works well. It is a fantastic knife that is super boring. And like I said, I mean, it could be, you could literally slap a $50 price tag on this and some people wouldn't know the difference, or a $500 price tag. It just so happens to be somewhere in the middle there. But yeah, I just want to kind of bring attention to this. This is my first knife from this particular designer, Grambeau. I love to check out more of his work in the future. I like the design. Like I said, super clean, very simple, and just works well. So not all that exciting, but I did want to mention it here. Let me know down in the comment section if you've had anything from this particular maker, but definitely on my radar now. I'm loving the knife. I think it's cool. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Let me know down in the comment section, do you have a super boring knife that you just love? It could be a cheap knife. Maybe you have like, I don't know, a CRKT from 1998 that you just never left your pocket. It just works, so there's no reason for you to buy another knife. I don't know. Or maybe you have some kind of custom knife that was $1,000 and you just love it so much that that's the one that stuck. You know what I mean? There's so many awesome knives out there, but sometimes not everyone's like me. Like, I'm looking for the journey. This is a phenomenal pocket knife. Why am I going to use something else? Because I just like trying new stuff. It's as simple as that. I like exciting things. I like extreme design. Sometimes, in this case, I like really boring stuff. This looks boring. But it's, like I said, the performance is there. So I really can appreciate that. I can look past the vanilla and understand that this is a very delicious, high-quality, homemade vanilla ice cream compared to a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket of Walmart vanilla that costs, $8. This is premium vanilla. That makes sense. Hope you guys enjoy your day. See you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.